Minnesota's 2-week stay-at-home order is just about 15 hours away now.
There are exceptions, and a lot of them. Employees whose jobs are deemed critical can go to and from work. But, Heather, how does the state decide who is essential, who is critical?
Right.
We all like to think that we're essential.
We are, and we are. I mean, ultimately we are. You know, these restaurants, these bars, these businesses that are closed, they are essential to our everyday lives. But right now, it's really, the governor says, this balance between trying to keep the economy open and keep the economy functioning, but also slowing down that peak of where we are. So we have to make some choices while at the same time keeping what they're calling critical infrastructure. The government's actually not calling it essential. They're calling it critical. And if you look at the governor's order, it's a full 6 pages, Jason, of businesses that are considered critical.
So some of these are obvious, right?
Right. So the healthcare, law enforcement, people who are at wastewater treatment facilities, grocery stores. But I know you have, I have as well, gotten a lot of questions. Well, why are liquor stores critical?
Yeah.
Home construction, dry cleaners?
Right. I was surprised when I got an email from my dry cleaner that they were still open. I thought, really?
Yeah.
Like, I think we can do without that. But dry cleaners also clean the uniforms of nurses and doctors and all of that stuff. So you think, like, all right, well, I can see it. Liquor stores, boy, that was the #1 question I was getting
That was
from
the
people.
#1 question.
My gosh.
Right.
Yeah.
And the governor actually answered that one directly in that first day that he issued this order. And he said, look, liquor stores help relieve people. These are the choices that we make. And so that was a decision by the state to go ahead and allow liquor stores to remain open. Now, not all states have done it that way, but you have to remember we are a little different here. You know this better than I do about how liquor stores function here in Minnesota.
Well, right, because we don't have any liquor sold at grocery stores.
Right.
So in many states you can get beer or wine at a grocery store or a convenience store or a gas station. We don't. So, yeah, I mean, that was a big one that people were concerned about, I think.
Right.
You know, here's my question, Heather. Is there a concern if you're going to allow, isn't it like 80% or something?
It is 80%. And so we
So what are we
to,
doing here? What is this shelter at home accomplishing if you're saying 80% of you still can go to work?
Okay, so here's what it is accomplishing, or at least what the governor says that it is accomplishing. Right now, what we're doing, the social distance we're doing, is bringing down our social interactions by about half. If you go to this more stringent model of if you can work from home, even if you're in those critical industries, if we go to this more stringent model for the next 2 weeks, that brings down our social interaction by 80%. So you have to have that balance of still continuing to give people the services that they need to function, but bring down the social interaction that we have, and they think this is where that balance is. A lot of this guidance comes from the federal government, from the Department of Homeland Security. They talked with government partners, state and local partners, industry experts, and you bring up the idea of dry cleaners. And I want to mention, I talked with the dry cleaner folks yesterday about this because this one, like you, puzzled me. And she said, look, I'm hearing from dry cleaners who are really struggling. Their business is way, way down, as you would imagine, but they have doctors coming in here saying, I need your help. They have police officers who have uniforms. They have firefighters who have uniforms. And they say, okay, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do this. So even though a lot of these businesses are open, they're still struggling as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a challenge.
Right.
And the bottom line is, even if you are deemed critical, you are required to work from home if you can.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, very good.